The Southern African region is set to receive normal to below normal rainfall this summer cropping season. This has left farmers in a sticky situation. Some are even panicking. But Zimbabwe seems to have an ace up its sleeve to counter this predicted lean rainfall season. Our reporter Sharon Munjenjama gives us more.
Earlier this year, weathermen predicted prolonged dry spells in Zimbabwe that would have consequences on the summer cropping season. For smallholder farmer Tendai Mupariwa, innovation was the only way.
Tinoshandisa mulch yatinowana kubva kuuswa uya hwetinopfirira nawo kana kuti tinogona kushandisa mashanga echibage anenge akasaririra gore rakapera kana kuti panenge pakarimwa wheat pepe munogona kutora futi stova yaya inenge yakasara toishandisa.
He says his yields have been high ever since he started practicing conservation farming.
Katasa munda uri panapa it's just almost half a hectare, but mukatarisa manje yields edu anenge ati kure paplot chete ye 16 by 39 taukwanisa kuona harvest yedu inosvika almost 1 ton.
Pfumvudza, or conservation agriculture, is labor intensive in its nature, and because of this there was resistance from some farmers when it was introduced. But now most small-scale farmers say the labor is totally worth it.
Mombe kana matractor anouraya ivhu. Saka ivhu redu kubvo inini ndisati ndazvarwa vachirima ipapo. Ezvinezvi ndiri kurima ipapo. Saka Pfumvudza kana kuti conservation farming inochengetedza ivhu. Ivhu harinyanye kutambudzwa negecho. Isati chamboda kwaona magecho.
To adapt to the changing climate, which has increased the likelihood of droughts, local maize seed producers are now breeding new varieties which withstand the harsh weather.
We've started breeding so that our crops can be able to withstand the tough climate conditions which we're experiencing. So the breeding aspect has gone through, trying to make sure that our crops can sustain themselves, so that farmers can be able to yield something, at least yield something, rather than having a total loss.
Authorities are urging farmers to plant crops within the winter period when rains are likely to come.
Land preparation and planting on time is very critical in terms of mitigation measure, whereby we are saying when you plant your crop at low plant population in medium potential area, it means you are making your plants benefit more nutrients and more moisture from a bigger circumference.
Zimbabwe hopes conservation agriculture will ensure its people never go hungry. Sharon Munjenjema for ZTN News in Mashonaland East Province.
We are now joined by Zimbabwe Farmers Union Executive Director Paul Zakaria to get an overview of farmers' state of preparedness for the 2023-24 farming season. Now, Paul, how have farmers gone in regards to preparations for the season?
Land preparation is actually in progress as we speak. Farmers are at different stages of land preparation, as well as actually others have started planting, those that have irrigation backup anyway, and some crops that are irrigated crops. There is a lot that is going on there. For instance, our tobacco, since September, our farmers have been actually planting the irrigated tobacco. So the smallholder farmers, in most cases, who are benefiting from the Pfumvudza program, those ones started potholing way back in around June, July, and that process is still continuing.
Now, Paul, as it is, the rains are already late and the season is likely to be lean. How best then can farmers maximize on the little rains that have been predicted?
Our production methods, they just have to adapt. We need to adapt to conservation farming practices. We need to make sure that we utilize the moisture that we have to the fullest extent. And this is where it will be very necessary for our farmers to work together with the extension personnel. We know that we in Agritech we have at least 2 or 3 Agritech workers per ward in the country. So we are adequately covered. So in as far as the methods are concerned, let's work together with our extension teams. And we also need to ensure that we harvest as much water as we can, wherever we can do that, so that we utilize that water at a later stage.
Now, as farmers, are you confident of salvaging something significant given the looming El Nino threat?
Yes, talking about the rains coming late, this is not the first time that we have had such delays. We have always had delays anyway. If you look at the past 3 decades when we started having these changes in climate and the variability that is associated with climate, we have been having such shifts. But we do expect that most of the rains should be falling between now and possibly mid of December. And beyond that, we expect that farmers would have also utilized the methods that I spoke about earlier. And also in addition to that, planting short to medium term varieties, and also ensuring that all their practices, everything is done in time, and crop management is therefore very, very critical at a stage like this. So in a year when we're expecting not much in terms of rainfall, we should not actually seal our fate and say drought means hunger. Drought should never mean hunger.